Hi,
Hello,
everybody.
everybody. I'm scarfing down a tiny. Go put it in the sink as best you can.
A tiny what?
Tiny sandwich. Sorry.
Ah,
See? Little.
I got out of the shower 4 minutes ago, so my hair's still wet because I had to scarf down my noodles before said shower.
That's fair. Tiny sandwich has been
What was
eaten.
on Tiny Sandwich?
It was just like a White Castle
Ah,
sandwich. Like, because you can buy them at Walmart in the freezer section.
I
They
have
just
a.
have a meat patty and cheese, and then I was like, had ketchup, dipping it in ketchup.
I've never not gotten sick from White Castle. Fun fact
Well,
about me.
that's very sad because their burgers have a very unique flavor. I'm not
Toxic
gonna.
sort of quality.
I was gonna say flavor to them that it's not quite beef, but it's not bad either.
It
So I don't
reminds
know.
me
It's
a
weird.
lot of like the ground by a gas pump at a gas station.
I worry about the White Castles you have been to.
It reminds me of those. To be fair, most of the White Castles I've been to have been like part White Castle, part gas station, and I think there's
Oh,
just been a lot of mix-ups.
that could be it.
Like some guy was getting his Chevy filled with White Castle burgers while I was eating his diesel.
I will also say that like because of where I live and the fact that we have like so many ranches, a lot of our fast food places source the beef locally. So
Mhm.
I'm just in general used to the chains in my town being better than like when I go other places. Cause
Yeah,
like I fucking love Wendy's. A Dave's double, my God, they are so juicy, so tender, so full of flavor. I go to other states and I order Wendy's and I'm like, what is this? I have been lied to. This is not Wendy's.
this is
So
this is garbage.
like what is going on here? So like that's also a thing.
Mhm.
We have both a White Castles and a Crystals, which are
I
the
don't know what
same
crystals
thing,
is.
except Crystals is basically White Castle, but they put mustard on the tiny burgers. Therefore, I
Oh,
automatically like White Castle better because I cannot with mustard. Hello, everybody. Oh, excuse me. Hi. Hello. Hello. Welcome. Yeah, she tried to take like I got one message from her that said that she was laying down because her head had started to hurt and but she should be good for the stream. And then I got another message a couple of minutes ago that she was like, I don't think I can make it. I tried to sit up and it was a no. So um she is currently on because I keep harassing her about like if her medication's not like helping after 2-3 months, I keep going. You need to try something else because there's like dozens of migraine medications, and so she's on her third one, which if she's tried because there's like different categories that the medication falls under, and you have to try one from 3 categories in order to qualify to try the Emgality shot. And so I'm like, if worse come to worse, it has changed my life. So, but either way, it's like if the one that you're using does not let you function to do things, you need to try a new one. I just hope that they never give her the one that, like, to be fair, she might take it and it be fine, but like 6% of people who take this specific migraine medication suffer short term memory loss. And as we all know how special I am with medication, it was kind of funny the way I found out though, because I was talking to my doctor and he was like, so how are you doing on this medication? And I was like, oh, I think it's like helping, except like I'm kind of always out of it. And I'm like, oh, and I think I've developed a new migraine symptom. Like my memory is really shit right now. And my doctor was like, when did this start? And I'm like, but thankfully Chris was there. And he's like, oh, about this many weeks ago. And the doctor looks at my chart and he's like, so when you started taking your new medication? And I was like,
Den, yeah, that one.
yeah, like I probably seemed high all the time because at the time, and I was just like, yes, you connect some fair dots. And he was like, we're gonna get you on a different one.
We're gonna mix this up a little bit.
He's like, because 6% of people suffer short-term memory loss on this, so I don't think you have a new migraine symptom. I think you have a medication side effect. And I was like, I like your answer better. Because I was real struggling. I had a lot of emotions about that. Hello. So, but we're hoping that her new medication works out much better. She's only been on it for, I think, a week or so. So, adjusting period. Never once been to White Castle. Should I consider myself lucky? Depends on if you go to Matt's White Castles or mine. My White Castles have really good fries. And
mine have good fries. I'll give them, their fries are good.
Burgers. Like I said, they're not bad, but they're not what I think of when I think of a beef burger. It's just something unique about the patty. Apparently for Matt, uniquely toxic. We don't have White Castle here, but there is a knockoff that got sued by them.
Fun little thing about White Castle, I've been in their corporate headquarters because I went there for my old job. So nice. Like, I went into a lot of corporate headquarters in my time. White Castle, far and away the best one, nicest one. There was a slide just like hanging out by the front desk, like a big curvy slide. And I'm just like, I didn't expect the gas station burger place to be the one with the nicest corporate offices.
Well, that's because it's not actually a gas station burger place.
Gas station burger place.
Hello and welcome to today's discussion.
White Castle.
Gas station burger place or chain that happens to partner with many gas stations in Ohio. I take Quilipta for migraines, but I've never once had a good experience with any of my meds. I hope she feels better soon. Matt can attest to this, I think. I spent 2 years trying out different medications until I finally caved and was like, fine, give me the shot.
If there's any doubt in that I am feeling very summery, when I read Quilipta, I think is what it said, for migraines, I thought it was like something similar to like a quesadilla or like a chalupa, and then instead of migraines, I thought it said margarita. I'm like, you're having a great weekend. Let's go.
Matt and I had a very different understanding of this until I finished reading it.
I'm just like, yeah, I take quesadillas for margaritas too.
My sister tried many medications. She now receives Botox for her migraines, and it helps. I have heard that, but that is a shot in my skull, and I can barely handle. I mean, not the skull, but like my head, and I can't even really handle the ones that my husband like gives me my shot in my arm, and we like switch up arms, and every time he does, I'll like the last time he was like, it's time for your shot. And I was like, no, it's not. I don't need a shot. I'll be fine. I'll be good. And he's like, honey. And I'm like, no, I promise I don't need it. And he's like, I need to go to bed to go to work. And I'm like, I literally just bury my face in the blanket and just whine until it's done.
You just go like, here, I'll do it myself. Whoop, I did it.
It's done. See? Woohoo. Kitty. Oh yes, this one's Eros. He doesn't normally attend the streams, but he is our fat boy cat of love.
He was so still. He a little bit looked like he was just like painted onto the wall.
Are you a statue? Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know if y'all heard it. It was funny because last night, so because it's summer, the kids kind of like camp out in this room, and this is specifically where my middle child likes to sleep, and this is also where Eros likes to chill. So my middle child's like laying there, and Eros was like trying to cuddle with him, and my middle child was like having some trouble sleeping, and he looks over and he's trying to talk to me, but while he's talking to me, instead of cuddling the cat, Eros keeps like trying to back up his butt against the child. And my kid's like, I just want to lay by myself, Eros. What are you doing? gas station burger. Right now, I don't think I've ever actually seen a White Castle attached to a gas station. And I have traveled quite a few places, so I'm fascinated by
Consider
Ohio.
yourself lucky.
For us, it's Tim Hortons. That's the go-to gas
Ooh, I
station.
love Tim Hortons.
I take quesadillas for migraines. Look, if that was an option.
Helps.
Eros Babu. Kitty pirate pet just chilling on your shoulder. It's my parrot glaring at people who walk by. Eros is our. Where did he go? Oh well,
he's walked off frame.
Oh, he's over there now. He probably, because I turned the air conditioner off, and so he probably feels the breeze. He's actually like, he has a condition that is like, when I looked it up, I forgot the name of it, but it's like kitty epilepsy. So like he's he can get overstimulated and stuff, which explained quite a few of his behaviors, because like he gets weird zoomies where he just bolts across the house and stuff, and we now know that's because like he's literally just so aware of his skin, he's trying to outrun it. Which is horrifying, but also, dark humor, kind of funny. But like we looked into it because one day he was like cleaning himself, and then he just started doing what I like very much recognized as a little bit of a seizure, and then it like stopped, and we were like, okay, we got to figure out what's like wrong with the cat, because like did something bad happen? But no, apparently he's had this his whole life, and it's just like the way that there's not really medication that can treat it, but like all you have to do is take really good care of them and keep their stress levels like really down, and make sure that when you pet them and stuff, you're gentle so you don't overstimulate them. And I'm like, oh, so he's just lived such a good life that we just didn't know until he over cleaned himself. So that's interesting. But we let the kids know, just basically so, because like sometimes with the cats you like to do that really fast on their sides. Can't do that with him. But we can still do that with the other three, though. He likes Tim Hortons, but not White Castle. And Matt, you got some hot takes before, but this one. Have you ever had Tim Hortons?
It's just donuts.
I've never had Tim Hortons. So.
I mean, it's just like a Dunkin' Donuts. I mean, it's not like cuisine, but like
try it.
Donuts and coffee.
Every time my family goes on a road trip, we always stop at a specific gas station that's in the middle of nowhere. This gas station is attached to the largest candy ice cream I've ever seen. I'm so intrigued.
I think that might be just like a Midwest thing to have gas stations that double as, like, whether it be like one of the most popular restaurants a couple towns over is a gas station.
It could be, especially if you don't like have a lot of rest areas. See, for me, I only ever stop at like Pilots, Loves, and Buc-ee's has now made the approval list, because like Pilots and Loves are truck stops, and truck stops are like the safest place to stop. They have kind of a bad rep just because people are scared of truckers, but literally, like if anybody tries to mug me at a truck stop, I know that I can yell for help, and like no less than 4 truckers will come to help me.
Exactly.
Like they're very much like, they won't bother you and stuff, but like they're very much just like they take care of each other and people. Plus, like if you're doing a really long road trip and you need a shower, truck stops at showers are like really expensive. But if there's a trucker there, because they get free shower, a lot of them get free shower tokens through their work. You could like offer to buy them a coffee or something, and a lot of them will give you a shower token. So
nice. The more you know.
They're great places, and they also have so much shit, and the food is always good. Like I was so confused when people shit talk gas station food, because I'd only ever been at truck stops, and I'm like, what are you talking about? They're Nathan's hot dogs are so juicy. Like what? Okay, let's do our introductions.
Yes.
And then we'll get back to chat. It's going to be a very low-key night tonight, because I don't feel good, so.
I am Matt Hollon. I'm a dark fantasy author working on my debut dark fantasy novel. I have a pirate short story called The White Harvester. It is out in Sasha Black's The Rebel Diaries anthology, along with 12 other fantastic short stories. It's available for purchase on all sorts of book purchasing websites, such as Amazon and all the other ones. And if you want to see me on social media, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. All of those links are hanging out down there. And of course, you can find me here about twice a month. Although next month I'm only here once because I'm starting a new job. And so I need to dial back the streaming a little bit.
Yes, that's why you're only here once next month.
Yes. It was in the notes.
Was it?
I said that I was unavailable like the first half of June.
Oh, no, what you said was I'm available all month, preferably the ending of the month. And then I will be having 4 non-regular co-hosts, so it worked out that way.
Yeah.
But if I had needed you, I would have put you for the last 2 Mondays.
It happens.
You know that. Oh, it's good to know now, so I will try to be aware of that in the future. You had me for a moment, though. I was like, oh, God, did I not remember that? But then I'm like, wait, no, I did. That's okay. Because of my dyslexia, I will do my intro after this side note. Because of my dyslexia, quite often my co-host will be, or my regulars will be like, I am free every day except this one Monday. And I'm like, okay, don't schedule them for that Monday. And then I'm like doing the list and my brain goes, that's the only Monday they're free.
That's their Monday.
And then I'll be like, hey guys, is this good? And without fail, they'll be like, Sam, that was the one Monday. And I'll be like, all my careful planning. Because I don't know if y'all know this, but a thing that a lot of dyslexics do is they reverse meanings. So when we're like, yeah, I can't do that, we'll type, I can do that. Or when it's like, I can do that, we'll type, I can't do that. It has caused so much confusion. But hi, yes, I'm Writing Mom Samantha El Nassett, and this is my channel where I talk about writer things, parent things, and writer-parent things. I host live streams like these on Mondays where we try to get some work done and talk about really whatever the fuck comes into our minds that day, even when we have topics to choose from. I also co-organize the Storytellers Hearth's Weekend Relay, which co-host sign-up is still ongoing. You can check out the Linktree down below if you are at all interested. It will be June 17th and 18th. So I am on 5 streams, not counting the opening and closing ceremony. So that's all we're allowed now. Single Sam tier. You can read samples of my writing at my website, SamanthaElNassett.com, where you can also sign up to my newsletter to keep up to date with all things Sam and get early information on, well, all things Sam. I also host a writing community Discord server, which you can find via my Ko-fi down below.
Give Sam money.
Yes. It is the $1 tier. We have a lot of fun in there. Tina does a writer's question of the day, which gets a lot of like fun and interesting conversation going. I also host a monthly critique group, which went very well this month, if I do say so myself. And we do a lot of work and chills. It's just a fun old time. Yeah. If you're enjoying your time here, like, subscribe, ring-a-ding the bell, and yeah, that's the things. Yes, bring me Timmy's, even though I don't know if you can actually get that through customs. They have surprisingly good chicken sandwich.
Yeah, I've never had like the legitimate food from Tim Hortons. I know they have it.
How dare you? Donuts are legitimate.
I've just only had their donuts, and their coffee's not hateful.
Well, Tina, good news for you. There is a Buc-ee's. Well, one, they're supposed to be building a Buc-ee's in my city, but I don't know when that's going to happen. But there is a Buc-ee's between here and Gatlinburg, like at almost the halfway point. So that is where Chris and I refill our tank. So
yeah. I've never been to a Buc-ee's, despite living like kind of in their turf. I'm a little north of their turf.
I can't take you to Buc-ee's. You're driving.
Yeah.
My mom tries her best to stop at Cracker Barrels when she's on the road trip. Oh, yeah, those are good places to stop, too.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
The last
They
few
just
times I've had Cracker Barrel, it has been very not good. When it used to be like I used to love Cracker Barrel, but the last few times it has missed.
no, they must not have a good cook right now.
Yeah.
Our Cracker Barrel
Well,
depends on like what
it's
day
been
and what
two
time you
different
go.
Cracker Barrels too.
Huh.
And I'm like,
That's unfortunate.
y'all used to be hitting.
I have been, lately my regular at Cracker Barrel has been this it's basically like a southernized crepe because it's just like 2 pieces of I think French toast and like this cream cheese filling that tastes almost identical to the cream cheese crepe fillings.
Yeah.
And you can get fruit on it and I'm like, yes, that's what I'm eating now.
Waffle House is so good. I love Waffle House so much.
Oh my gosh, yes. Olive
Especially
Garden Waffle House.
3 a.m. Waffle House is where it's
all
at.
the stereotypical poor people places.
3 a.m. Waffle House just hits
I will
so
say
hard.
Olive Garden is another one of those to where like I didn't understand its bad rep for being like low class and everything because like I would like our local Olive Garden is like really nice. It's like very fancy and so I was just like, but then I went to an Olive Garden somewhere else and I was like, my very small town apparently just does it up for food. Yes, we hope you're doing good. Currently being smothered by a cat. So, is it Merlin? Is Merlin smothering you? Just chilling at work. Give Sam money. Hi.
What's up?
P.S. That gas station is called Eddie World in California. I have very low chance of ever being able to go now. Yeah, Tina has linked my coffee.
Nice.
I'll be walking my sister down the aisle that weekend, but I hope everyone has fun. Oh, congratulations. Nice. That is my website. Gatlinburg is a fever dream we used to
I haven't been to Gatlinburg.
You're not wrong.
Since probably I think it was like 7 or 8 the last time I was in Gatlinburg. So it's been a while.
Me and a small group are doing a writing retreat in Gatlinburg next year. So we are planning ahead because we all got to budget. And Chris and I like to go. Sorry, I got a DM from my mod, and I will get that to you during the first sprint. Where did my brain go? Oh yeah, I can't wait to like take them to Gatlinburg. We're gonna be like somewhere between 1/3 to a half writing and the rest of it just enjoying Gatlinburg. Because me and Chris will have been the only two who will have been to Gatlinburg before. So Matt, you know what would be like the perfect middle ground for hiking and other stuff is Anarchista.
Anarchista?
Yeah, it's basically a theme park in a mountain. I'll send you the link so you can see it.
Yeah, I love my Woodlands time.
Now Cracker Barrel.
Look, I really like Cracker Barrel. It's just they've missed a couple times.
We do have a Denny's, and I have been at 3, and it is 7. No, actually, Raja is the... Oh, yes, that is the one that Merlin does not like, if I remember right. Hello. I've been to Gatlinburg a couple times. Did you enjoy it? The ... leaves me questioning.
Now that I think about it, I think I've only been to Denny's once in my life.
I've never been to any of the dinner shows, normally because, like, they happen at, I think, specific times, and it's just never lined up with what I was doing. But maybe we shall try. I've also heard good things about Dolly Parton's Stampede dinner show. Olive Garden is low quality. No, like low class, not low quality. Just like it's the fancy place that poor people go to, but it's like not actually fancy. But I'm like, but ours is, right? Like, I do agree. It's like it's expensive and nice. Like they sit there and they grind the cheese.
They grate the cheese for you.
They grate the cheese. You get unlimited breadsticks, and those breadsticks are good.
Their breadsticks. I love their salad too. I love me some Olive Garden salad.
Their soup is also so good. It's
Yep,
like one of the
they got
places
buffalo
we
soup.
go to treat the kids, when we have a little extra. And my daughter has fallen in love with the gnocchi.
Yes, that's such a
She
good soup.
every time I get the gnocchi, she like steals half of it. My Canadian butt is so excited. This is a touristy area, so we have all the things. Yes. OMG, I got stuck on the lift at Anakista. Well, oh no, my husband would not have gelled. So there's only two ways to get up to Anakista. You ride the lift or you ride in the truck. I like the lift. There's two different things. There's like this red yeah, I think they call it a gondola, but it's just like a carriage that you can sit inside, right, and look out. And then there's also basically like a ski lift that you buckle yourself into, but you can see straight down. Chris was not having that. We tried it once on the way down, but no. I want to ride the red gondola if everyone's okay with that, because like I said, you're inside a thing and it's very safe. I don't know that I trust drivers up a mountain. That's my thing. I'm like, I know the truck feels safer for everyone else, but I'm just like, I don't know about that. So we'll see. I also one day hope to bring you all to Swiss Chalet, perhaps.
Is that Timothy
I am
Chalamet's
afraid
brother?
of heights. See, Tina is also afraid of heights. That's why, like, for everyone afraid of heights, we have to go in the gondola or on the thingy. You should rejoin the Discord. It's a fun. We also do lots of watch parties. Speaking of which, Matt, we need to reschedule up.
Yes.
We'll figure that out later. I'm like, I'm not free until halfway through next month. It was the first month they opened, but there was a thunderstorm, so okay, yeah. Got you. I understand that. Yeah, when the general rule in like Tennessee is if there's lightning or thunder, they shut down like all air and metal rides and stuff until it's been, I think, 30 minutes since the last thunder strike, and then they'll reopen things. As someone who worked at Olive Garden for 6 years, this is a weird conversation, but also it's one of the few restaurants I'd still eat at in town because I know how clean their kitchen is. See, we are pro Olive Garden in this not server. We're on a live stream on this channel. The first time I went to Gatlinburg, I went during my senior year of high school for a chorus trip and went back in the late 90s and early 2000s with my mom, cousin, and two aunts. My husband and I started going to Gatlinburg for our anniversary trips because, like, our anniversary trip would be like for one night a year. My mom would keep the kids and we'd like go to Nashville and stuff. But then we were like, okay, we can start kind of going a little bit farther. And so we went to Gatlinburg, which is like 5-6 hours away. So like if an emergency happened, we could still get home relatively quickly or anything. And then there was just so much to do at Gatlinburg. We're like, okay, we got to go again. And we got to go again. Because it was like, and then one year we're like, maybe we can go somewhere else. But then this year, my husband like brought up doing a family trip with the kids. And I was like, well, we're taking them to Gatlinburg. The first time I went to Gatlin. Oh, wait, I read that. It is good. Writing stream? What do you mean we don't talk about writing?
Why would we?
We do. We're talking about a writing retreat.
Oh, then that's true.
Kinda.
We're a little more focused on the retreat part of it.
Well, look, there will be like a writing itinerary thing. I'll do it. We all know I'm hosting. Yeah. It's a thing. We'll get writing done. But also, like, everybody has. Let me tell you, we have a group chat for the writing retreat. 90% of the group chat is everybody talking about what food they want to eat. I know nobody is surprised, but that is what it is.
Can't believe food comes up with this group.
Recently, margaritas were suggested. Plus, it's just hilly and not too mountainous, so it's good for me. Also afraid of heights. All right, so I needs to go do because I forgot to pre-set up the sprint. Oh god, I was sitting on my foot wrong, and now it's numb.
I think I'm gonna have to make a margarita during this first sprint. All because of migraine.
Oh, Yes, Matt suddenly getting a migraine that only
No, I don't
margaritas
have
can cure.
migraines. I just saw the word
No.
migraine and thought it said margarita.
Matt, I was being silly. Gosh,
I mean,
be silly with me.
it's summer. That's reason enough to have a margarita.
I'm gonna pretend that my numb leg is what's slowing me down, and not just the fact that I am unfocused as fuck.
I'm going to admit to one of the more, I guess, pretentious things about me, which is that I
You
can't.
pretentious?
Never, not me, not this guy. I really, really don't like margaritas that use like margarita mix.
Mm.
I don't like them. I try and I try.
I've never had them, so I wouldn't know.
They just taste so sticky.
I will also say that you're one of the few pretentious people in existence that I actually get along with. I was just thinking about that, and I was like, God, I don't get along with pretentious people. And I'm like, except Matt.
Except me.
So... All right. In 3, 2, 1, go. And we're back. I have to check how much I wrote.
Me too.
I had to like send some stuff, and then I was doing some other things that I had to supervise my child cutting up an apple, and then I sort of like zoned out staring at the screen going, what was I about to do for a bit? But I got 89 words of my first fight scene in my album.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, I finally finished all my animal research. And to be fair, I finished the animal research like a couple weeks ago. Hold on, I can tell y'all the date I finished my animal research because I haven't been able to work on it since then. The 15th. I finished my animal research on the 15th.
Nice.
And I've just been either too busy like doing house stuff or working a convention or family stuff to pick it back up again. But I'm doing the fight scenes, which is great. I have like some notes on the fight scenes already, so like I know who she's fighting and what they are and stuff and like plot things around it. So it's like not as hopeless as I my anxiety is really bad, y'all. I don't know if you know this, but like when I'm not on the migraine shot, some of the like symptoms that are lesser known for migraines is like anxiety spikes and stuff. And so mine has not been kind today. I have been told it's really hard to tell though, unless you spend like 24 hours with me. So that's good. But yeah, so I was just sitting here going, I don't know how to write fight scenes. I don't know what a fight is. I like read my notes and I'm like, oh no, I know what I was doing here.
Yeah.
I also realized a small like flaw though, because during like the opening thing, this is in like the synopsis, so everybody, this isn't a spoiler, but like Richie falls into the fighting arena. And I'm like, I got to the part where she falls in, and I have a note that's like, she should probably be injured. I should figure out why she's not. I'm like, how far is she from? Has she been trained to fall? I was like, that's one of the things I got to figure out.
Yeah.
I think I just solved it though by like voicing it out loud. I think I'm just gonna have it to where she was trained to fall, and so then she falls, and then she like lands, and she's like, "Oh fuck!"
Yeah.
Ah.
I made my margarita.
But you didn't make one.
Oh, it's in my kitchen.
Oh, okay. Are you gonna drink it for me?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. So kind.
Yeah, you got it. And I wrote 344 words.
Nice. Oh, I got 89 done, but I think that was pretty good considering I started typing it toward the end, and then I was also invaded. Y'all can go back during the like sprint on the cat cam. I was invaded by a cat, which I know he is like my biggest cat and Artemis is my smallest cat, but this like always I notice when I'm on camera, and like it was when I have Artemis, it's just like this and I'm holding her. When I have him, I'm like this. It's just you lose sight of me behind him, and I'm like, oh god. I'm finding where we were in chat. Oh, Heather said when she went with her mother, cousin aunts, they went to Dollywood and other places like Helen, Georgia, and once the Shenandoah Mountains. Hope you enjoy your movie watch party, Ty. That was one of the things I was gonna do. Harass you about that. But I did pretty well there for some reason. That was VA. It's interesting how agoraphobia works and how it can change over time. I forgot it was Memorial Day, to be honest. My family doesn't really do anything for Memorial Day weekend, which might seem weird because I come from a military family, but just none of them want to, so we just don't. My brain just paused. But I had a good weekend. Like Chris and I went on a dinner date, left the children to fend for themselves. They loved it. Okay, I looked at my phone for what I saw was no more than 5 minutes. But was it 5 minutes?
My
Then
weekend.
again, you could have experienced that when I worked at the convention the last time. Me and like my coworker who was right beside me, we were like an hour, or like we would be working and then we would handle a bunch of customers and then we would look down at our phones and it's like, how has it already been an hour?
Yeah.
So surprising. Green thumbnail. I wrote 12 words. Fair.
Well, more than you have.
Yes. Ate some ice cream, then did a few pages of final edits. Shoot. How was your weekend, Matt? Because I cut you off.
No, you're good. It has been such a full weekend. I worked on Saturday and Sunday, and right before this stream, I wrapped up my 4th party of the weekend that I attended. So, like, it has just been nothing but work and social gatherings.
You're just the opposite of me.
Yeah, like, look, I'm an extrovert, but I'm gonna need a little bit people to stop inviting me to things.
I was gonna say I'm an extrovert too, but like
4 in 3 days is a little much. But like, I mean, they're all like pretty low key. Like, one of them was like my nephew's first birthday party. Like, it's not like I'm going to Ragers, but still, so many just.
Bruh, kids' parties can be ragers, though. Make no one lie.
True. My older
I just have
nephew,
this hair. I don't know what to do with.
It wasn't his birthday, but he was playing out. He's 3. He was running around outside, and tripped over a little toy car, and homie went airborne. Like, like I felt bad because like it hurt. Like you could tell just watching it happen. It's like, oh yeah, that hurt. But it was just so just like,
there's so many times with children where you see it and you just you question your own humanity because you're like, oh god, that's gotta hurt, but that was so funny.
just because of the way it's like, if a person that wasn't a toddler were to be in that situation, they would have maybe like stuck out their hands and caught themselves a little bit. But the way he just, I'm like, oh, buddy.
To be fair, I would also find it funny if an adult went airborne. Slightly more impressed by the adult going airborne. Mimi read Ursula K. Le Guin's book about writing, Steering the Craft, about the cadence of prose. Kelly got some citations into a report they're working on. Yes, thank you. There was so much to do. Even if it wasn't intentional, I like taking breaks in between each milestone as a break to rest my mind. That's fair. Oh, also with the animal research, I had to change Moxie's fighting style just slightly. I was like gonna have her be like one of those that like stays back a little bit and observes the opponent and stuff, but apparently Jaguars just give no fucks and are balls to the wall. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, well, she's gonna block some hits that will severely hurt her, but she's gonna keep going because she can regenerate. So whatever. She'll just have a nice steak later. I polished and finalized my latest Substack post about various things related to Mental Health Month, neurodivergence, and juggling projects, and scheduled for tomorrow. Nice. Thank you. Quesadilla margarita.
I just need a quesadilla.
My dad called. It's like he knows when the sprint is. It's been mostly chilling. Thank you. I appreciate. What is Memorial Day? I am from Canada. So Memorial Day is a federal holiday where you are supposed to take time to remember the soldiers who have fallen in the line of duty during war and stuff. What it mostly is half of the people who celebrate it do that, and then the other half just have like a family barbecue and just hang out and party. So, yeah. I think my family doesn't do the second part because of the first part, because we have a lot of war veterans in my family, and they don't particularly like to discuss those things. I got 455 words in 20 minutes. Yes.
Nice.
Version of Victoria Day. There we go. Also, I finished up a Q3 planner for my. I'm not gonna lie. I was gonna say quesadilla 3 planner. That's why I fumbled it a little bit. But Q3 planner for my summer Etsy launch on June 1st. I'm going to now do a variant in an autumn color palette. Nice. I think Memorial Day was started after World War I to support families of the fallen in the war. His things. Sounds like Remembrance Day up here without the barbecue. Seems like Remembrance Day plus Victoria Day. Yes. I was really confused by Memorial Day growing up because, like I said, my family doesn't celebrate it. And all I really heard about was like most people consider Memorial Day the first day of summer.
Yeah.
So I'm like, but I knew what the summer solstice was. So it was like, that's not what. And also people are like, don't wear white after Memorial Day. And I still do not know why that is a thing.
Not me wearing white on Memorial Day.
Right? So it's just one of those things. I didn't even like this morning I called my insurance to try to see where the progress for my appeal for my shot was, and they sent me to like 4 different departments, and the department I needed was the only one not open today, and I was so confused until I was in a call with Mimi and Tina, and Mimi was like, "Oh, I'm surprised they were open at all with it being Memorial Day," and I was like, so right. It is.
Yeah, I was really confused because, like I mentioned earlier, I start my new job this week, and I was fully expecting to start today because, I mean, most of my working career has been just like in the service industry, and they're not closing for Memorial Day. But now it's like an office job, and so they're like, I was like, yeah, what should I? Because like I had a question about dress code stuff. I was like, what should I wear on Monday? And they're like, well, you're not coming in on Monday. That's a holiday.
So we don't care what you wear.
They're like, you're gonna start on Tuesday, and I was like, right, I am gonna start on Tuesday because that's when the work week starts for people who have computers at work.
Yes, everyone who has an Etsy shop, do share what your Etsy shop sells and everything, and the name of your Etsy shops. Promote your Etsy shops. We are pro self promotion here.
Pro self promo.
And interconnecting with each other. I believe Bella sells a lot of different writerly things. Like I know she has cups with writerly sayings on them that are entertaining. I am struggling to remember what any of them says right now, but I know there were like some summer ones that she shared the designs of recently that gave me a chuckle. Also planner pages. Like I know she sells the individual pages so you can like print them out. You'll also get like a Canva file for them so you can like change the fonts and colors if you want. I think, if I remember correctly, Bella will correct me if I am wrong with any of this. Bella said digital planners and checklists for authors and writers, as well as mugs with writer quotes and phrases under the name Bella R's Shop. I do not have an Etsy, but I will still gladly accept your money. Same at my Ko-fi down below.
If you Venmo me $5, I'll make you an NPC in the D&D game I'm GMing.
Bruh.
Just Venmo me $5, I'll throw you right in there. But what happens
to you? I have to Venmo Matt $5. Not gonna lie.
And I'll just tell you about it. Because
after I get back from the convention and Paige, just get $5, and you're like, Sam, what the fuck? And I'm like, NPC me.
NPC me. Yeah, we don't record our session, so you'll just have to take my word for it that I put you in.
Redbubble shops are also accepted.
I need to put my Venmo on my Linktree.
You do
for when I make these idle promises.
These idle promises. Want to be an NPC? Venmo.
Want to be an NPC? Just like Venmo me $5. I don't know. Buy me a quesadilla.
I summon chaos in every D&D campaign I touch. Venmo Matt $5, and you can
tell me a little about yourself.
A chaotic thing. I'm typing to somebody about something.
I it's weird. I mentioned D&D, and then someone from my group messaged me a question.
They're secretly stalking you? My shop is named Heather Dewey Petite Imaginative. Well, sometimes keeping it simple is the best.
No. The
Art
question
for writers and lovers of fantasy and sci-fi. Nice.
in my last session on Friday, right now the party is split, and one half of them I had an encounter where they were fighting a Hydra, and I was really afraid that they might die from it.
Mm-hmm.
And they killed it in a turn and a half. And I was just like, oh my god, okay, well, I thought you guys were gonna die, maybe, but
I gotta take it up a notch.
good lord. One of them did 100 damage in one turn, and I was just like, you shouldn't be doing that. That was too much.
How have you accomplished this? So I actually got to play Tears of a Kingdom a lot this weekend, primarily because like one of my husband's favorite things right now is when we like mutually sit together and play Tears of a Kingdom on our Switches. That's like our couple time for the most part right now, which I am totally down with. It just means I don't get other things done.
Yeah.
Especially since it's mildly addicting. But like it's kind of funny because both my husband and my son are like, so have you gone and done plot things yet? And I'm like, no, I'm in this one place. I've been here for 7 hours. I'm trying to get to this very specific thing. And it just won't let me. But I'm having so much fun just not doing any of the plot things. It's consumed my life. That is fine. I think I'm also just more amused by how my son and my husband have both bonded over this game and seem to be bonding over their mutual size. That I just am playing the way that I play, and I'm like, no, this is how I enjoy things. Let me do it. But like, it's also kind of funny because when my husband's stuck or he needs something, because our son has had vastly more time to like play and do things. So like, my husband will summon our son and ask him. He's like, "How do I do this?" And then our son will tell him.
Yeah.
It's so cute. And the other two have started playing Breath of the Wild. Like they were intimidated by Breath of the Wild because there was just so much of it. But like now they've both started playing it and stuff. So at bedtime we have the Zelda hour, which is where like because it's after Chris has gone to bed and I've come in here to like chill with them. And that is when they all pull out their Switches and they're like, "Mom, Zelda." And I'm like, okay, I'm getting nothing done for the next hour because I am just here at their whims. I have no problems with this whatsoever. Although, even though I can't really do much for my son on Tears of the Kingdom, especially since I tell him, I'm like, don't ask me things. I can't help you. I'm not there.
Yeah.
But he like came over because he knew this wasn't a spoiler because he knew that like I had the camera and had already started taking pictures of things to fill the in-game compendium. And he was like, "Mom, do you have any idea what this one treasure I'm missing is?" And I'm like looking at all of them and I'm like, "The luminous stone." And he goes, and he's like, "That's genius. Why didn't I think of that one? Yes, that is the one I am missing." And I'm like,
yes.
It's just so cute. I want Tears to consume my life. I support this decision.
It looks like a really fun game. I haven't played it because I've never played a Zelda game.
Well, Matt, you have a Switch?
I do have a Switch.
You should buy the $100 voucher because what it does is you can get 2 games It's $100 for 2 game vouchers, and you will save money getting Breath of the Wild and Tears of a Kingdom that way. Because Tears of a Kingdom is $70 and Breath of the Wild is $60, so you save $30.
Yeah. If I just need to have $100 to spare.
I would buy everyone it if I could. I hand stamped and use watercolors and inks. Nice. Tina's art on Redbubble is mostly gay, as is most of Tina's art, which is fine, perfectly acceptable. I feel like my tone didn't match up with my intent there, but I trust all of you know that I mean it. I feel like I sounded like one of those judgy people like, yes, it's fine. I'm like, that's not what I meant. I can't wait for Final Fantasy 16 to come out. I didn't know 16 was coming out. I'm excited
might
already.
be the next game I try to play.
How dare you?
Oh no! I mean, it's gonna be Zelda.
That
yeah, it'll be Breath of the Wild.
It's gonna be next year on the writing retreat, and I'm just gonna bring Breath of the Wild and be like, play it now.
You go, we're all gonna go have fun, and then you just lock me in a room.
This is Zelda hour, bitches. Everybody.
There's like chains locking me.
You're gonna switch. You're gonna switch. I think they are just bed legs. I am thinking of having actual merch, though. I support this. Sam, I must play Zelda. You are holding me hostage. I totally can't leave you to play while I work. Yes, that's right.
Of course not.
I can't. I have to explore things. But then physical art I can take with me to local cons and other events. I was playing it earlier and didn't want to. I know. It's like more Batwa, but like also with. It's hard to explain without just spoiling things. I highly suggest doing local cons / art shows, even just for fun. I have debated getting my son hooked on gaming. I got CB hooked on gaming with Breath of the Wild. She's like, she's waiting until she finishes making up her school assignments before she gets Tears of the Kingdom. And I'm like, so responsible. I don't have kids, but they will be hooked on anime. I don't game. Fair. I have had less success in that area. I've tried, though. We are getting them hooked on like fantasy things in general. We watched The Hobbit around Christmas time, and they were very much into The Hobbit, especially the dragon. My son is also, my middle one is mildly obsessed with movies that have like books and books that have, basically if there's a movie and book adaptation of things, he like wants to experience both the book and the movie.
Yeah. I feel that.
Matt, do you see which timer this is?
Oh, I do. And you know what I have in my kitchen? Almonds. I'm gonna go grab them.
Somebody screen record Matt eating almonds.
I had my going away party this weekend for my old job, and one of them were like, "What's your favorite snack?" And I was like, "Almonds." And well, it was one of those things that I didn't know why they were asking, and so I was like, "Ooh, yeah, probably like almonds. I eat almonds a lot. I really like almonds." So then at the party, there's just a bunch of bowls of almonds, and I'm like, I mean, it's not really like a party food. It's more of just like a health conscious snack. But thank you.
There were multiple bowls.
Yeah, they got 3 varieties, and I didn't have the heart to tell them. That
was kind of sweet.
It was really sweet. I didn't have the heart to tell them that I'm like, I like raw almonds, and these are all roasted with different stuff. But that's okay. This is still very sweet. So now I have and I took the leftovers, so now I have 3 bags of different kinds of roasted almonds.
At least they won't go to waste.
They won't go to waste. I will definitely eat almonds.
We'll just have Matt snacking timers in different flavors. Okay. Go ahead and count us down.
All right. 3 almonds, 2 almonds, 1 almond, go.
Hello. I forgot to unmute.
No worries.
We're back. I'm
to
looking for
finish.
my word count.
I was in the middle of something that I really wanted to finish before the
I get that.
Sprint ended.
So I did 126. I finished the opening fight, and then I started like read/skimming through the outline, added a sentence into a later scene, and now I have to figure out where the second fight is. Like, I have the fight scenes listed separately, so I know what the second fight is. I just have to figure out where the second fight is so I can read what happens before and after to make sure that my fight scene matches up. But also in my opening fight, I added a little bit of a part that I know you're gonna love.
Is it with Chirpy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Chirpy is his nickname, but now Moxie has a specific nickname for. She calls him Chirps. So that is a thing.
I did 359 and answered some D&D questions.
Nice. I'm trying to find where we are in the chat. Almond Party sounds great, although I am more of a cashew person myself.
So I used to absolutely love cashews. They were like my favorite nut, even though I know they're not technically a nut, but whatever. But then I just ate them so much that now I don't really like them anymore.
Oh, that is unfortunate. Sorry, I saw this video in my preview. I'll share it so y'all can see how my confusion grew. So I saw, where did it go? You bastards. Oh no, okay, it's still there. It just moved. She's down here now. But I saw this and it looked like this is cosplaying Misa Misa from Death Note. So I was like, oh, is this like a Death Note cover song? That would be interesting because Death Note is very well known for like their opening and their ending metal like songs being great. And I enjoy female covers of many things. Also male, I just enjoy like music in general. But so I like hovered over it and it was like Metric Black Sheep Brie Larson vocal version, and I was like, excuse. Like, hold on, Captain America sings to me? I need to investigate this later.
It's really funny because you said Misa Misa, and I have no Death Note knowledge at all, but that's the name of a Corpse song. And I was like, what? The Corpse song?
We were going two completely different ways. No, Misa Misa is, I think, a pop I think her job is that she is a pop singer in the anime. But like, that's not super well known because that's not what the anime is about. But yeah. I also take my art to a local market that loves cool different art, and I just went to an author market event that was a bit more than an hour away last weekend. Oh, that sounds like a lot of fun. I have seen this post going around that like this one artist, it cost her about $8,000, but she held her own gallery. And it was 8,000 because she paid for catering and the venue space and some other things. But because she was hosting the gallery and she planned it well and she sold tickets and everything, she made 43,000 net. So she made like,
damn.
Yeah, like 57 or not 57.
51.
No, if it's 43,000 net and it cost her 8,000, then or maybe I'm misusing net. Gross.
I was gonna say
it was 43,000 minus the 8,000 she spent.
Okay, so yeah, that is net because gross is after cost. So yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, net, and then so she grossed what's
35 grand.
Yes, she grossed 35 grand. And I'm like, dams. But like, I saw it initially because this is how I curate my feed. I saw it on a post that was supporting this and like is like, this is fucking inspirational. It's like, artists, like this is the goal. This is what we could try to achieve. But apparently that poor person kept getting a bunch of artists who was like, yeah, that's what it's like to have rich friends. And she's like, do you know that she has rich friends?
Right.
Like, and then like other people would be like, no, like this is, some people just like know how, like they learn how to do stuff. And like this one person said that her like kid and their friends have always priced their artwork highly. Like this one kid, when he was in 11th grade, priced one of his paintings at $975, and he actually sold it at that much. So I was like, damn. But I thought that was awesome. And make lots of bookmarks.
If I ever have money, I'm going to buy so much local art.
You say that so aggressively and
Like,
threatening. Artists, look out.
I will buy all of your stuff if I just have money.
It'd be the dream one day to just have enough money to walk in and be like, I'm buying every piece.
Like, that would be so cool, because I feel like you go to so many houses and like it's a lot of decor, like just like looks similar. Yeah, which I mean makes sense, like we just discussed, art is very expensive. But like when I go to like a rich person house and they still don't have any like
yeah, you can afford
like,
your own stuff.
You are in a nice neighborhood. You should have local art on your walls. How dare you?
Yes, I agree. This is mesmerizing. Matt eating? Yes.
Oh, the Matt snacking?
I meant that the market is very hip and a bit witchy. It's definitely not old-fashioned. It's hosted by a coffee house near the local university. Ooh, fine. Yeah, we have a lot of local shops and stuff that, especially like, I said it in my server, but that's the other thing. If you join my Discord server, then you get like Weekend Sam updates and cute kid stories. But like I took the kids to, it was voted #1 in our city for the past 3 years, apparently. The children were very impressed by this and kept telling me. But it's this little local coffee shop that's actually run by veterans. And they sell shelf space to local artists and stuff. So you can like go in there and you can buy like all kinds of just like little things. I actually bought like one of the keychains because it was Yggdrasil with an owl in it. And I was like, yes, this is mine now.
There's a local
restaurant.
I was just gonna say there's a local restaurant around me that does the same type thing where like they'll rent out the space to local artists.
I love that though.
That I wanted so bad. It looked so cool. And I mean, it was like huge mural. Like obviously I could never afford it. It was something like $1,400.
Damn.
But I was just like, oh, if I had a nice house,
one day
I would buy that.
Just put it as your head, like right above your head.
Yeah, it was so cool. It was such a cool piece.
Yeah, I love when like local shops and stuff do that to support local artisans. Yeah. Nice. I just recently started having bookmarks at shows, and I've been happily surprised at how well they sell. Nice. Bookmarks are like a really good thing to sell, especially since, as sad as it sounds, like people lose them all the time. Just so it's like there's always a need for. Whenever I take the kids to the library, they have this little like turn around thing where they have like 5 to 6 bookmark designs, and like it's free. You just grab a couple if you want. And so the kids, every time I'll be like, do y'all need bookmarks? And they'll be like, maybe. Yes, people tend to love them. In fact, my large bookmarks are my biggest seller. Nice. So I've been trying to make as many as I can, which reminds me I need to update my Etsy shop with the things I didn't sell last weekend as soon as I can. I'd better write that in my planner. I will also say if you make like bookmarks themed with your works in progress and stuff, sometimes like a lot of people will just pick up the bookmarks because they're pretty. And then at some point they're like, but what is this? I was just scrolling up and saw that you said you looked at my shop. Thank you. Welcome back. Worked on both my character profiles for one mystery treat because I realized I had them only half filled, and brainstormed a new morning/night routine for myself. Nice. We love the self-care. I got down 546 words. My 0 drafts are such crap, but I can't wait to revise. Hey, you can edit words that... Matt, help me. You can edit crap words, but you can't edit new words.
Yes.
I absorbed your thinking power.
Yeah, I just tossed it over to you.
Thank you. I tried to get into playing D&D, but I have no one to play with, so I just watch it on YouTube. I feel
I mean, my first time trying D&D, it was in a group, and I don't want to say it was a bad group. I will just say it wasn't a group for me. It was very sandboxy, the campaign.
Mm.
And it was very much just like the DM would be like, "Oh, on the road, you encounter a group of goblins, fight them," and then we would
We're
fight them.
playing a JRPG.
And I'm like, no, okay, I want to be railroaded a little bit
Mhm.
by my GM, and so now this new group, uh, it's a little more structured, and I definitely like that. And a little less combat focused because my first campaign was like all combat, and I'm like, look, I'm in this for the RP. The combat is just a side thing.
That's fair. 226 words. I put some stuff away and got ready for bed. Fair. Oh, that's a clip/song from Scott Pilgrim.
I've never seen Scott Pilgrim, but I think I might like it.
Heather likes Tina's Red Bubble. Editor and art. Oh, thank you very much. Hell yeah, Matt, clear me out. I forgot the context for that for a second, and I was like, "What?" My favorite coffee shop in town. Churro lattes.
Great idea.
Yeah, people buy a lot of just stuff from Walmart or Target that is not even made locally.
That's my thing. It's like I totally understand. Buy, you like my house is decorated with stuff from like Target and stuff like that because that's all I can afford. But if I had the money, you got all these talented local people and you're not going to buy from them? For shame.
The coffee shop that I was talking to also has like they sell a lot of like local fan art too, and there's so much Zelda.
Oh, that's cool.
So much Zelda and Final Fantasy and crossover stuff is like fascinating. They also have a up on the wall. It's framed. It's one of the gold Zelda cartridges, like the original
game. That's sick.
Like I went in there and I looked up and I was like, well then.
Oh.
That's what you display. Like it has such a good vibe too. They've got like, little cafe chairs and stuff. And then in the middle is this barrel. And on top of the barrel is like this really big, like the checkers are this big checkerboard.
Yeah.
On this like rug. And so like when I took the kids, they like sat there because we were the only ones there at the time, and they like sat down and they just kept playing checkers with each other while we waited for our order and stuff. Don't mind me arriving fashion.
Undefeated.
That's the best way to arrive.
Their vibes.
They are.
I don't think I've ever been to a bad local coffee shop.
Neither do I.
Like, they don't exist.
My first and only campaign didn't even get finished because everyone got busy. Haven't found people to play since. That's like so common though. Like I've played far more unfinished campaigns than I have finished
ones.
My
group is pretty dedicated, and like I'm still a little worried we might not finish this just because campaigns take a really long time.
Yeah. It's like it's weird to say, but D&D campaigns to successfully go through are for like one of three groups of people. Like one, teenagers who have all the time in the world.
Yep.
Two, really like close friends whose work and stuff just happen to align and like they hang out together a lot anyway. Or three, people 40 plus who have been at their jobs long enough that like they are in a life routine, and so they can reliably commit.
Yeah,
like, and all the rest of us in between we're just
struggle. Because like mine got started because it was all my coworkers. We decided to start a game, so it was really nice because like work schedules were really easy to work around, especially because like my manager was in it. So he's just like, okay, well, we play on Friday nights. He's like, well, I'll just make sure on Fridays to just make sure to not schedule any of us that want to play to close. I'll schedule someone that's not playing to close on Fridays. and so then we have Friday nights to play D&D. And so it's been, but I mean, it's still hard because I mean, it's a group of 7 people, 8 people. Yeah, 8 people because it's a 7-person party, all in our 20s and 30s. I mean, that's just hard for everyone to be free at the same time when you're dealing with that many people.
Mm-hmm. So, in my opinion, that's when you like make all those characters that like it's a good time to make a bunch of the testing out characters. And like
Yeah.
then so by the time you get to your late 30s or 40s, when you can have that like reliable group that you will game with for years and years and years,
Mhm.
then you like how you want to make your character and everything.
Yeah.
And that is not to discount that like a lot of times not a lot of times, but like there are groups who will have been gaming with each other since they were teenagers.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, bruh, teach me your black magic, please.
Yeah.
I need to know. A lot of artists on Etsy also do digital printables. It's cheaper to bring that file to a print shop than to buy an original piece, but still supports the artist. How dare you get detention for? No, we accept fashionably late. Just don't be unfashionably late. That's just
you
rude.
gotta be, if you're gonna be late, be cool about it.
Agreed. So much art, especially around here. I think any place with a lot of retirees and or students, you find a lot of art. I went to Anime Expo one year, and there was a booth for a writer, had a novel and corresponding manga. They had a giant book with detailed maps, percent art. Asked them how much it would cost to buy it. That's out of my price range. Just finished watching a NASCAR race, so I'm watching on the phone. We were watching the Indy 500 earlier today. The fam and I went and watched the Coca-Cola 600, and my guy won the race. I love the names of races. The Coca-Cola 600. Oh yeah, I'm not surprised. It's super expensive and laborious to print something like that. 30, I got to wait 9 whole years just to play. No, I'm saying not just to play, it's just to have a reliable campaign.
Just maybe to finish.
Hold on, let me see if I can find this. I could go get the business card, but it's in 3D printed.
Yeah, it is.
Dragons.
I'm really lucky that I have the D&D group that I have. Because like we have 2 campaigns going right now, one where I DM and one where I don't. The one where I don't is just about done. And so it's like I feel pretty lucky that very early in my D&D career, I'm gonna get to finish a campaign.
Maybe I found it.
And we're talking about doing a season 2 for it that I would be really excited for.
Okay, those are not the dragons I was looking at. There was a man selling these gorgeous and just like very impressive 3D printed dragons at the convention, and I got his business card. His business card was really cool too. I'm trying to find like his shop. It's like I said, I could go check his shop, but like I'd have to go in my room to do that, and I don't want to. I will during the sprint if I have to, because there are a lot of people selling 3D printed dragons, apparently.
I also just love how mainstream D&D has
wore
gotten.
it. He wore it around his neck. It was so cool. And it was so pretty too. Sorry, go on.
Oh no, I was just kind of talking while you were searching to fill the space. I was just saying how I really like that D&D has gotten as mainstream as it has.
Yes.
Like
as it should be.
Right, like it's just a really, I guess, different way to expose people to fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
And like I really like it as an alternative because like I feel like so much adult fantasy is so like encyclopedia y and textbooky to then have this just like
Yep.
tabletop game to do fantasy with your friends.
I have to show you. When I was at the airport, this is a vending machine for Legos.
That's awesome. Like I'm not a big Lego guy, but like that's sick.
I was like, bruh. And then also, this is a vending machine for if you need headphones.
Nice.
I was like, bruh, it's fancy. I'm trying to see if I took a picture of the business card. Like I said, worst come to worst, I will go because it's in my wallet and I know where my wallet is. I will have to go get my wallet. I did not take a picture of it because I wish to share. Because if I remember, his like thing, they were actually pretty reasonably priced for what they were. Oh god, chat has been. I'm sorry, chat. I was
Chat's been
neglecting.
popping off.
It was like 2 feet by 3 feet with only like 10 spreads, and the pages were a fourth an inch thick. Cover was leather, if I remember correctly. Just joking around. I mean, that's fair. Especially if it was leather bound. Honestly, 1,000 might have been cheap for that because leather bound books have to be hand sewn. When I said I would like a smaller version, they said they were thinking of it but weren't sure how it would sell. I told them that I would love to buy it with character art too. Book bindings is beautiful but intense art form. Next year they had it and I bought it. We went an hour talking about what would go inside. Ooh. I love D&D, but I'm really hoping Critical Role's Dagger Heart takes over the industry. Yes, that would be great. Like, for those who don't know, there's been a lot of controversy and a lot of shit going on with Wizards of the Coast who, makes Dungeons and Dragons. And like one of the things is that they were going to start charging third parties who were using D&D a fee to use. So like all of the Dungeons and Dragons streamers and stuff who stream their campaign would have to pay a fee. And people are unsure if I'm pretty sure they already had this in the works, but like one of the biggest questions was what would Critical Role do? Because like they are objectively one of the biggest D&D streamers. And Critical Role's answer was they're making their own tabletops, so it doesn't matter. They're just gonna start. I mean, because Matt already homebrews like over half of the shit they use anyway. So
yeah, didn't he come up with the Blood Hunter class?
Yeah, he made the Blood Hunter class, and he's actually I believe they have the Tal'Dorei campaign thing is like officially Wizards of the Coast, but Matt wrote it. So, yeah, they've like already broken it, like Wizards shooting themselves in the foot, really. It wasn't extremely great quality, like pages were stiff but not solid, so I understand why it was 1,000 and not more expensive. At least forces Wizards of the Coast to produce legit great content for D&D. Lots of the last few. I'll say RP, ever since Hasbro took over Wizards of the Coast, it's kind of like gone down a bit because Hasbro doesn't understand what makes D&D or Magic the Gathering work. Like for Magic the Gathering, you used to, every time a new set of cards would come out, people would like host parties and stuff. Like they would buy booster boxes and open them together and everything. It was an event, and it only happened like once, maybe twice a year. But then like when Hasbro took over, because they want that money, they would start releasing like a set a quarter or a set a month. And so it became oversaturated and like nobody could keep up with it anymore. And like, what was the point? Because every time a new set came out, older cards would become banned from tournament play. That was just like the nature of the game. So like now it's like, who can keep up with tournament play, right? And then they also started reprinting really old, really rare cards, which was beginning to devalue. So it's like collectors would have these $1,000 cards that like didn't matter anymore because they're reprinted. So Hasbro tanking Wizards. Also, whoever's in charge of wizards just does not know how to not put their foot in their mouth. I would have had to see it in person to be sure it was worth the price quality wise, but a book 2 feet by 3 feet is a massive project that honestly I want to try now. I will also say that like if you like like the artwork from Magic the Gathering cards, I don't know how many artists do it, but I know Steve Argyle, if you like send in one of the cards that he did with like a small fee, he'll autograph it for you and mail it back.
Oh,
Because
that's cool.
my husband has a couple of his favorite cards autographed by Steve Argyle because he did that.
I somehow managed to never play Magic the Gathering.
I mean, it's an endeavor to get into.
Yeah. Like, I was into a lot of nerd stuff, and including card games, but never Magic.
It wasn't paying a fee. It was also that third-party 5e content would become IP. That too. No, they would also have to pay a fee. Both of these things are true.
Right.
No, I was just letting RP know.
Mm-hmm.
They move on to playing B&B.
Bread and breakfast?
I'll play bed and breakfast or bread and breakfast.
Oh yeah, I said bread and breakfast.
Yeah, I play D&D and Magic the Gathering, and yeah, both games are oversaturated. Unfortunately. That also reminds me of when White Wolf was like, we're going to rebrand and we're changing the name of the company. And I, to this day, do not remember the new name of the company. It will just forever be White Wolf to me. But they were race. So White Wolf started as a vampire roleplay system, and then like basically became vampires versus werewolves, and then they like expanded to a bunch of different stuff. So I understand why they would want to change from White Wolf to something that was like more monsterly inclusive, but I've always known them as White Wolf. Yeah. So they will always be White Wolf to me. They also hung paintings that were extremely detailed with high prices. Artists said that if they were going to sell it, it would need to be at a high price. The book had the same art, but digital versions. I mean, that's fair, though. Like, if an artist says, this is how much my art is worth, and people pay it, that is how much their art is worth. I follow this guy whose family owns an art gallery on TikTok. And one of my favorite TikToks by him is where he goes on about how art galleries are one of the biggest scams in the industry. And he's like, no, seriously. He's like, these paintings and stuff, they're worth as much as we say they're worth. And so he's like, basically, if he gets a bunch of prints and they sell the first print for like 250 and somebody buys it for like 250. And then later, the artist gets more popular, and then they're like, okay, so now we can sell it for like 350. Well, now that art is worth 350, and the person who brought the first one, they've had a positive increase in value. But if the gallery decides no, it's not, we decided it's not worth 250, it's only worth like 200, then they've lost money because now that art is devalued. And he's like, see, he's like, it's just a giant scam. And I'm like, this man is just shitting on his family's business while he is inside his family's business. Because he like does this while he's working the counter. He's like, it's also one of the biggest ways people embezzle money. And he was like talking about how they'll pay so much, like they will pay so much for a painting, and all they're doing is like they're just embezzling the money. I forgot the exact details of it, and I'm like, this man, to the whole ass internet, he's not hiding his face or anything. No, he's just like, so about art galleries. And he seems so amused the whole time he's doing it. I'm like, this man may be a little bit my hero. So I'm finding us a 20-minute timer. Matt, entertain chat.
I'll tell chat about the other encounter that I did in my last session. So, like I mentioned, the group is split, and one half fought a Hydra and killed a Hydra really fast. The other group had to deal with the most intricate encounter I've ever created, and I was sweating just trying to run it because it was a full scale like invasion that they were in the middle of and having to like navigate their way through because it was basically they're in like this forest village and a army of werewolves are descending on the village.
As they
And
do.
so, as they do, and so they had like, I literally went to the store and bought two big bags of army men to just like put all over the board because like there was just like dozens of NPCs on each side. And basically, the combat was less fighting and more just trying to make it through the city while all this stuff is going down. And then
That's fair.
on the other side of the city, one PC and one NPC were fighting another like really big, strong NPC. So the rest of the party's like trying to make their way to them while navigating all this stuff. And like my sheet of like different characters and HP and stuff was just like full. And I'm just like I had like 5 books open and just like running all around. Like it was
You gotta go.
so much effort to run that combat, but it went well. They're still in the middle of it, but so far so good.
As long as there's fun to be had. I found the perfect timer for us today.
Ooh, paint.
Paint and water.
Hell yeah. Call that
Also,
watercolor.
I am so mad at my brain fog right now because I know the pink is pink pigment.
Yes, I
in
love this
Vonto
drama.
Black, but I cannot remember. But I will probably spend part of the sprint looking that up. I have some art drawings of books I would like to digitize. I took a high quality photo of an art piece I made about 2 years ago, and now it's becoming part of my branding. Nice. All right. Matt, would you like to count us down for our final sprint of the night?
I would love to. 3, 2, 1, go.
And we're back. So I watched the video that I have now linked in chat about the Vanta Black and Pinkus Pink. And yes, it is. It was so well worth the reminder. Thank you, Tina. It's just a great story. I got 136 words that sprint, which gives me 341 total for today. And I'm I don't know how far. This is like a 2v1 where Moxie's fighting a kangaroo and a rabbit shifter. And I'm like, it's flowing so well though. I'm like, yes. But I gotta figure out how Moxie wins. I'm like, it's in my notes. Like it was in my notes that like it's a 2v1 that Moxie wins, but she's gotta end up fucked up. So I was like, I need her to be a little fucked up. So
I got 183 done. You can tell it's the third sprint because it's less productive than the first two.
For you.
For me.
I think that was my most productive.
Yeah.
It's also the one I think I spent the least amount of time actually working. But bruh, I was just like, damn, I know how, like, obviously my subconscious has been thinking about these fights for months now because they are just flowing out of me. And normally fights are where I take the longest. But no, I've been doing so much. I'm not even having to double check my notes right now. I'm like, I know how I want them all to fight. It's so good.
Love it.
The only like thing I wasn't sure is because like the main way that jaguars like fight is their jaws have been specially evolved so that they basically end every fight by biting they're evolved to be so specialized they bite this one specific part between the neck and the spine to just immediately kill. And I'm like, these fights are non-lethal. So, like I have to figure out how to do this and she's not just murdering
How do you sever a spine non-lethally?
I gotta so yeah, that's for fun. I figured it out though. I mean, she's not severing spines, but I figured out how to use her bite it because it's like obviously I could just not have her use that, and I'm like, but it's their thing.
Yeah.
They're like the only animal on the planet who can do it. I have to use it at some point. Yes, the drama. Yeah. Was it? I don't know. I saw it and it was pretty and it fit. So I made sure that I have an account with Spring. I do. I thought this was where I'd bought some merch for my con back in 2020 in their online version during the pandemic. More ideas ensue. Heck yeah, I love art and color. Their channel is amazing. I did nothing and just surf social media, so that's fair. The last sprint is often the least productive for the majority. It reminds me that I actually had made something in Canva a little while back, a couple of mug designs. Ooh, fair. I mostly just bopped around, but I did draft out a potential check-in on interview letter. Wish me luck. Good luck. 254 words that sprint, 628 total for the day. Nice. And it also made me think that I could possibly make some merch for my other channel. Ooh, fun. Oh, Sam, you seem interested about it last time it came up, but there's another 10,000 word challenge that starts next week. Maybe. That'll be a post-con week, and I don't currently have my shot to back me up. So I am interested, and I appreciate you bringing it up. And as you see, I'm still contemplating it, so I would definitely have finished my outline and started drafting if I did, though, because my outline does not require 10,000 words. I think. I don't know how long these fights. I don't know how detailed these fights are gonna get. If you are in my server, I am going to share a screenshot of one of the fights, though, because I'm very amused by the way that I write them. So
yeah,
If you want exclusive sneak peek at some of my outlining and stuff, check my server. The dollar membership at my Coffee Ko-Fi down below. I will say one thing I like about I like more over restarting. One thing I appreciate about Ko-Fi versus like Patreon is Patreon charges you like when you sign up and then on the first of the month. So like you could sign up for somebody's Patreon on like the 25th. It's still going to charge you again on the 30th or on the 1st.
Yeah.
Ko-Fi seems to just start billing you the day you pay. And I'm like, I like that. I think that's more fair. This weekend, I will be going to Project Acon in Dallas, Texas. So if you are
Nice.
in the area and you are going to go to Project Acon, you can come check out the booth I will be working at, which is Anime Pavilion. We do 20% off of anime and manga. And I have been told that because my boss has just done like 4 conventions in a row and he's going straight to Acon from Momo, that our stock will be limited. So definitely get in there and get it before it sells out. Because that's one of my favorite things to say is that's my last one. If you don't get it now. So many people buy things. But yes. I think that's everything. Did anybody else want to say anything, to talk about anything? Or are we ready to close up shop?
I think we're wrapping up. I gotta get going to bed here soon anyway. Because I'm trying to get like with my new job, I'm trying to get into like a really nice during the week routine where I go to bed at the same time and wake up at the same time because I now have set hours. So I'm gonna start that tonight. Try to go to bed and wake up at a good hour.
This also means that next week, the stream will be a sprint shorter. I will only be doing 2 sprints next week because that worked out really well last time I worked a convention. So we're going to do that again. Also, I need everybody to know that I thought I had paused my YouTube playlist, but it turns out I had not paused it. It just came up to a song that requires viewer discretion and needed me to confirm.
Mm.
But the timing was so perfect. I was just like, nice, I paused my music already. Do you want to say anything? Me makes part sound loses with my head. I did dump some ideas for my polygamy werewolf story. The idea I love is to make an ongoing joke about the stupid smells in fantasy. Like when they say you smell like proceeds to say something that isn't a smell. You smell like sunshine. Well, sunshine does have a smell, but I'm going to Necronomicon Tampa in September as a guest. Sakatumi is coming to meet me there and will be on a panel with me. Awesome. No, I'm not a volunteer. I'm an employee of a vendor. So I work in the vendor's room. I was gonna say, oh, so I read the Lunar Chronicles, and in it there is a species of genetically modified warriors, and I didn't really think about it throughout most of the series because they genetically modified them with wolves, and so they've got some like werewolf things going on. And I was like, well, I mean, it's part of a fairy tale retelling, and this is from the Red Riding Hood part, so I didn't think much of it. And then later they were like, yeah, we took like our best warriors with like the strongest potential and crossbred or like genetically mutated them with one of Earth's strongest predators. And I was like, I would have just been like, oh yeah, fantasy stuff. But after my recent research, I'm like, no, fair point. like we've got some other predators and apex predators that are downright scary, but like wolves are indestructible. Nothing kills them. except people. So fair. You smell like fighting, not blood or sweat, just
fighting.
Not the adrenaline that peaks. I've been a vendor before. It's fun work, right? I really enjoy it. Setup and takedown, not so much, but it is what it is. All right, so Matt, would you like to say your outro?
Sure. I am Matt
Sorry,
Hollon.
I can't like swap you with anybody. Hold
Yeah.
on, here we go.
Whoop.
There you go.
I'm in. I am Matt Hollon. I'm a dark fantasy author working on my debut dark fantasy novel. I do have a pirate short story called The White Harvester. It is available for purchase in Sasha Black's The Rebel Diaries anthology alongside 12 other fantastic short stories. You can buy it on Amazon or any of those other book purchasing sites. There's links down below in my Linktree. While you're there, you'll find links to my Instagram, my Twitter, and my TikTok. Feel free to follow me on any of those. And of course, you can always find me here at least once a month, generally twice a month, when my schedule is a little more normal. And that's everything.
And I'm Writing Mom Samantha L. Nassett. This is my channel where I talk about writer things, parent things, and writer parent things. On Mondays, I host live streams like this where we have a good time, get some work done, chit chat, have fun, and it's, we do all the things. If you would like to read samples of my writing, go to my website, samanthaalnassett.com, where I have 2 short fictions up for your reading pleasure. If you'd like to keep up to date with all things Sam, you can sign up to my newsletter while you're there. If you would like to join my writing community Discord, the Sam's Realm, you can do so by joining my $1 membership at my Ko-fi down below.
Give Sam money.
It's been a really fun time. I've been greatly enjoying it, and I would love to see more people there. There's other thing. I co-organize the Storytellers Hearth. We are currently recruiting co-hosts for streams for the June weekend relay on the 17th and 18th. If you had a good time and you enjoy the channel and just, want to see more, then like the stream, subscribe, ring-a-ding that bell, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Goodbye.